Now, gang violence in the northern areas of Port Elizabeth claimed at least 10 lives during November. The Minister of Police, Bheki, the National Commissioner of Police General Khehla John Sithole, and Parliamentary Portfolio Committee members on police were in that metro today to tackle the issues.
The Parliamentary Committee came to Port Elizabeth to focus on 5 matters, including the anti-gang capacity of the police in the metro and the relationship between the community and the police, as well as the effectiveness of specialised police units. The Parliamentary Committee is of the view that fully-fledged anti-gang units should be rolled out in all metropolitan areas in the country. Our reporter Zolani Moya was there with the community chairperson Francois Beukman.
A very good afternoon to you. Yes, we are indeed crossing live here in Top, which is situated in the northern areas of Port Elizabeth, where a portfolio committee on police has embarked on an oversight visit, meeting relevant stakeholders and community leaders to try and find a solution to deal with gangsterism. But with me here, I have the chairperson of the portfolio committee on police, Mr. Bheki. Sir, can you just tell us what is it that is extraordinary about your visit?
Well, it's very important for the Portfolio Committee on Police to ensure that we are fair with what is happening in our different communities. Last week we got a special call from communities in the Eastern Cape with regard to the current gang violence in specific areas in the northern suburbs, and part of our visit today is to ascertain about what is going on, to meet with communities and also to get responses from police management on how to deal with gang violence.
From now, what will be the way forward? What are your robust plans for government?
Well, it's quite important that there should be an extraordinary effort to deal with gang violence. All our citizens must and feel be safe, and therefore it's important that the police management comes with plans that are practical and specific to deal with gang violence, and the Portfolio Committee on Police is in favour of the rollout of the anti-gang units in all metropolitan areas in the Republic.
Not only that, sir, what are you going to do as Portfolio Committee to make sure that you instill hope and confidence towards communities here?
Well, it's very important that the cluster commanders and station commanders must ensure that their stations are adequately resourced, that there is visible policing plans in place, but very much more importantly, crime intelligence must come to the party. They must ensure that it's crime intelligence-led policing, that there is good information available to the policing units to deal with the people who are behind these gang killings, and there should be also an extraordinary effort to deal with illegal guns. That's one of the issues that was raised by the community in their meetings this morning, and we believe police management in the Eastern Cape must rise to the occasion, deal with illegal guns and deal with the gang kingpins who's behind these killings.
How is the mood, towards community leaders and community leaders in general?
Well, we had a good interaction this morning with community leaders, councillors, as well as the religious leaders from the northern areas in Port Elizabeth. They also asked that special effort must be made by the South African Police Service to ensure that those precincts are given the necessary resources, but also the necessary know-how and leadership to ensure that they can deal with the current situation.
So lastly for me, seemingly the gang unit has worked extremely well in Cape Town. Are you guys maybe looking at introducing it here in PE?
Well, we believe that the reintroduction of the gang unit in the Western Cape is the right way to go. The National Development Plan is very clear. Specialised units must be utilised to deal with specialised crime threats. We believe that in the Eastern Cape, I think the opportunity is fertile to ensure that the gang unit is also rolled out. We welcome the announcement by the Minister that the task team is being installed. We think it's the right route to go, but I think the end game is clearly gang units all around the country in the metropolitan areas to deal with a specialised crime threat in our communities.
That was the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Police, Mr. Bheki, telling us how committed government is in terms of fighting gangsterism. Not only that, but they also want to instill hope and confidence towards communities here in this area. Well, that is what I have here for now in PE. Back to you in Auckland Park.